Namaste, I am Alex and I welcome you to the Yoga Fundamentals videos. This video is entitled Breath Awareness, and in this video we will talk about the role of the breath in the yoga practice. Also, I will present the main breathing techniques used in the Hatha Yoga practice. The breath is very important in the yoga practice and in any type of training practice in general. Without proper breathing, we cannot gain the maximum benefits of our training. In Hatha Yoga, the first pillar of the practice is the asana awareness, knowing how to properly sit into the posture. The second pillar of equal importance is the breath awareness, knowing how to breathe properly in any posture for maximum benefits. The breath is the connection between our mind and our body. Through the breath, we can focus and calm our mind, and through the breath, we can empower, relax, and clean our body. The breath also is able to stimulate the energy flow in our body. We have a life force that is moving in and out from our body, and the breath is able to stimulate and direct this life force in our body. The practice that uses breathing techniques to stimulate and awaken and move the pranic energy in our body is called pranayama. Pranayama is very important in yoga. One of my yoga masters said to me that there is no yoga without pranayama. So like the first thing that you need to learn in yoga is how to use the breath properly. Without using the breath properly, you are not advancing in the best way that you can. So in our society, we don't have any kind of breath awareness. In school or in the media, they don't put so much importance on how we are breathing. Usually we breathe very shallow, just till our chest. And in this way, we are not able to tap into our body's full potential and vitality. So the majority of people go through life with minimal energy. It's like driving your car in the first gear. So through these breathing practices and this prana stimulation and awakening in your body, you are able to take your body to a higher level of energy, of performance. It's like switching gears, going into second gear and then third gear and so on. Depending on how much practice you do, your energy is going to go higher and higher. Anyone who has a regular breathing practice will have powerful benefits for his or her mind or his or her body. I recommend doing pranayama every day for at least 20 minutes to see what effects come to the mind, to the heart, and to the body. In this video, I will present the main breathing techniques used in Hatha Yoga that you can use them anytime you want, on a chair or sitting down or on a bed. Doesn't matter how you sit, it just matters how you practice. So knowing them theoretically would really help you in your yoga practice. There will be practical videos on this channel where you can try these techniques that I'm gonna present right now. For Hatha Yoga, the most important breathing technique is called full yogic breathing or abdominal breathing. This type of breathing is practiced just by itself when you sit comfortably and you breathe fully in your belly. Also, very important to know that this breathing is one mainly used in the asana practice. The slower and deeper you breathe in the asana, the greater the effects will be for the posture. A very important aspect is the fact that the length of the inhale is the same as the length of the exhale. Both inhale and exhale are done through the nose. Mostly in all yoga practices, the breathing is done through the nose. The air that goes through the nose is being cleaned and warmed up, and the body can absorb it better. Also, breathing through the nose is done in a slower way than through the mouth. The slower and longer we take the air in, the more time we give our body to absorb the oxygen, and the slower and longer we release the air out, the more time we give our body to release the CO2 and relax. Also, it is good to know that the longer the breath is, the longer our life is. Long, deep, slow breaths create a long, healthy, and peaceful life. It is called full yogic breathing as it has the objective to inhale fully, filling the lungs entirely, and to exhale completely until the lungs have no more air in. This is done by using your diaphragm. The mental focus is to inhale first into the belly until it's filled up. After, you breathe into the chest and you fill it up. And lastly, into your throat until no more air can come in. On the exhale, you focus on releasing the air from the throat, then from the chest, and lastly from your belly. When you do this breath work, you will feel how the belly goes forward, rounding itself, and after it goes backwards towards the spine, making a valley in the abdomen. The chest expands and uplifts, and after it goes down and contracts. When done correctly, these movements can be noticed easily by others, as the practice expands and contracts the body. There will be a video where I will guide you to practice this type of breathing technique, but for now it is important to understand it logically. You sit comfortably and you focus on breathing through the nose in a slow, deep and complete way. You start inhaling into your belly. After it's filled up, you inhale in your chest, and after it's filled up, you inhale in your throat. On the exhale, you first release the air from the throat, then the chest, and lastly the belly, until all the front of the body is squeezed in and the belly button goes as backwards as possible. Resting one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest will help you out at first to become aware of the movement taking place. You can choose a practice in doing a certain number of repetitions, like 30 or 50 or 100, or you can choose a practice in doing a certain amount of minutes, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or half an hour. This pranayama is the basic breathing technique and creates the necessary awareness and preparation to be able to do the other type of breathing techniques. This is the practice that you need to get good at so you can move to more demanding breath work. The most efficient breathing technique in Hatha Yoga is the Ujjayi breath. It is called the breath of the ocean because it makes a sound similar to the sound of the ocean. When doing this breathing technique, you should hear a sound like this. Ujjayi breath is the full yogic breath with a slight throat constriction. To execute the Ujjayi, we have to slightly contract our throat in order to make smaller the passageway of the air going in and out. Imagine that our throat passageway is the size of a big coin, and by slightly contracting our throat, we make the passageway smaller, like the size of a small coin. We use small pressure for the contraction. We don't use force. The purpose of this contraction is to make the breathing longer, so one full breath takes more time to be executed. A longer breath creates a better effect for our practice. A longer breath gives the body more time to take the oxygen in and to relax and get all the CO2 out. The Ujjayi breath is the longest and the most relaxing breathing technique. After regular practice, you can do a complete full breath in a minute or more. It can be practiced as a pranayama or in your asana practice. The next relaxing breathing technique is Nadi Shuddhi, or alternative nostril breathing. As the English name suggests, we breathe alternatively through each nostril, while the other one is being blocked. This technique has the purpose to clean the male and the female energy pathways and to balance the two hemispheres of the brain. We use the right hand to cover the nostrils and the left hand is on our knee in Gyan Mudra. The right hand uses the Vishnu Mudra, where you bend into the palm, the index and the middle finger. With the big finger we cover the right nostril and with the ring finger we cover the left nostril. This breathing technique is done in cycles, where we start by always breathing in the left nostril and we always finish by breathing out the same left nostril. The easiest version of this technique would be like following. 1. Take 3 full yogic or ujjayi breaths to prepare. 2. Cover the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril to a count of 4 time units. 3. Release the right nostril and cover the left nostril and exhale to a count of 4 time units. 4. Keep the left nostril blocked and the right nostril open and inhale to a count of 4. 5. Release the left nostril and block the right nostril and exhale to a count of 4. This was one Nadi Shuddhi cycle to a count of 4 time units, and it would continue in the same way with more cycles that start and end with the left nostril. A time unit is a count in your mind. It can be equal with a second or with more than a second. With regular practice, you'll be able to increase the count. You can go to 6 counts or 8 counts or 9 counts. Nadi Shuddhi has 2 versions of practice. So far, I described the easier version where we just have the inhale and the exhale. The more challenging version is the one where the breath retention is introduced between the inhale and the exhale. This version would be like this. 1. Take 3 full yogic or ujjayi breaths to prepare. 2. Cover the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril to a count of 4 time units. 3. Keep the right nostril covered and also cover the left nostril and retain the breath to a count of 4. 4. Release the right nostril and keep covered the left nostril and exhale to a count of 4 time units. 5. Keep the left nostril covered and the right nostril open and inhale to a count of 4. 6. Keep the left nostril covered and also cover the right nostril and retain the breath to a count of 4. 7. Release the left nostril and keep covered the right nostril and exhale to a count of 4. Then we will continue with more cycles where we integrate the breath retention. This version is more powerful and brings more benefits from the breath retention. It is said that the retention is the magical part of this breathing technique. There are different time units used depending on the level of the practitioner. There can be practices where the retention time is double than the inhaling and exhaling time. With a lot of practice, you will get there. But for now, the important thing is for you to learn what is the structure of this technique. So far, we learned about 3 different relaxing breathing techniques that use deep, slow breathing. Next, we are going to learn about 3 different energizing breathing techniques that have the purpose to circulate our prana a lot faster. The first and the most known and practiced energizing breathing technique is the fire breath, also known in yoga as Kapalabhati. It is practiced in Hatha Yoga as part of the pranayama practice, and it is a staple in Kundalini Yoga where both moving and static practices are executed using this type of breathing technique. It is a very powerful breathing technique, and its main purpose is to purify the mind and body and also to stimulate, awaken, and raise the Kundalini serpent energy. This Kundalini serpent energy lies dormant in our lowest energy centers, and through the yoga practice, we activate it and raise it through the spine into our head to awaken the higher energy centers located in our head. The Kundalini energy is our sexual divine energy that we normally activate it in sexual and artistic creative experiences. Through yoga practice, we can tap into this infinite creative and sexual potential that has great benefits in all aspects of our life. This intense breathing technique is done through the nose and it focuses its attention on the exhale. We do a strong, active and forced exhale and we do a relaxed, passive inhale. The inhale comes naturally by itself without our mental instruction. We just focus on exhaling forcefully from our belly and we let the inhale come as an effect of the exhale. We focus on pushing as much as we can the belly backwards towards the spine. The faster we go with the breathing, the higher we are activating our energy. Kapalabhati breathing looks and sounds like this. Look how the belly goes in deeply and forcefully, and hear the strong breathing sound on the exhale and how the inhale is quiet. This technique also uses breath retention. Also, it uses the bandhas, which are muscular contractions, and have the intention and the purpose to raise the energy from the lower part of the body to the higher part of the body. The way I practice this technique is to start with 3 full yogic breaths to prepare. Then we take a 3/4 inhale and we start pumping. We do 80 to 100 pumpings of fire breath. Then easily let all the air out and take a big, slow, full inhale, expanding the belly and chest, and then retaining the breath while locking the 3 bandhas and focusing on raising all the energy stimulated by the pumping through the spine into the head. When we cannot hold our breath anymore, or on the instruction of the teacher, we gently breathe out, let go of all the bandhas, and we take 3 full yogic breaths to relax and to prepare for the next pumping cycle. We usually do 3 cycles. We have 3 muscular locks or bandhas. The first one is the Mula bandha, which is the contraction of the pelvic floor where you have the perineum and the sexual organs. We use this bandha to keep the energy in the body, to not let any energy go out through the anus. The second muscular lock is Uddiyana bandha, which is the retraction and contraction of the abdominal floor. We use this bandha to draw the energy upwards. It works like a pump that it takes energy from the low to the high. The last muscular block is Jalandhar bandha, which is the contraction of the throat by tilting the head forward. This one has the purpose to bring energy into the throat and into the head. All these 3 bandhas create together the Maha bandha and have the purpose to raise the Kundalini energy from the first chakra to the last chakra. You will be able to practice this breathing technique in a future video and feel its amazing power. It has a rejuvenating and cleansing effect on a physical and energetic level. The next energizing breathing technique is Bhastrika. It is similar to Kapalabhati but has some different aspects. One aspect is that the inhale is also active, and in Kapalabhati the inhale is passive. Another aspect is that the focus is on expanding and contracting the chest, not the belly as we have in Kapalabhati. Last aspect is the movement of the arms and fingers. When starting this practice, we raise the hands by our side, keeping the elbows down in line with the hands. The big finger goes into the palm and it's being covered by the other fingers in a fist. When we inhale, we raise our hands up, extending fully our arms up, and we open and extend fully our fingers. On the exhale, we lower down our hands and we close our fists like the starting position. On the inhale, we open our chest, and on the exhale, we close our chest also using our elbows. When the elbows come all the way down, they push gently into the ribs to make the chest smaller. The speed of the breath is usually slower than the Kapalabhati, but through regular practice you will be able to increase the speed of it. This technique also uses breath retention and the bandhas, but it also uses a spine lengthening posture. After a round of Bhastrika, we release all air out and then we take a long and full breath in and we retain our breath. During the breath retention, we place our hands on the upper thighs next to our waist, finger facing each other. We push our hands into the thighs, straightening our elbows and focusing on lengthening our spine. Like with any breathing technique, we start with 3 full yogic breaths to bring our undivided attention to our breathing and to prepare for the practice mentally and physically. Then we start breathing and moving our hands from down to up and up to down. After a round of Bhastrika, we let slowly all air out, then we take a slow and full breath in, we retain our breath, we put our palms on our thighs and we lengthen our spine. When we cannot hold our breath anymore, or on the instruction of the teacher, we gently breathe out, let go of the bandhas, and we take 3 full yogic breaths to relax and to prepare for the next forced breathing cycle. We usually do 3 cycles. This practice will awaken your mind and heat up your body. The last energizing pranayama practice is Bhramari. This is a special breathing technique as it uses sound while covering all your senses in order to be fully aware on your inside. The inhale is exactly like the one from the full yogic breath or from Ujjayi. The exhale is also like the one from full yogic breath or Ujjayi, but it also uses the sound This sound has a great effect on your head and mind, and in order to get the full benefit of it, we cover our senses. With our big fingers, we cover our ears in order not to hear anything from the outside. With the index and middle finger, we cover our eyes in order to be focused within. Our ring finger will be placed on our nostril without blocking them. Very important not to block the nostril so we can breathe properly. With the little fingers we cover our lips in order to keep all the sound in, not to let any sound slipping out through the mouth. All this will make us feel a powerful vibration in our heads and minds that slowly goes into the body as well. We usually do 7 sound repetitions in a cycle. After one cycle, we take our hands down and we breathe slowly and deeply and we stay aware of the effects of the sound in our minds and bodies. After 20-30 seconds of relaxation, we start another sound breathing cycle. This practice creates a powerful energizing effect through the prolonged vibration of sound. It always uplifts your mood and it always relaxes your body. This is the most exciting and pleasurable pranayama practice. You will get to practice it in a future video and share your opinion on it. So these are the main pranayama breathing practices used in Hatha Yoga. I recommend starting with the full yogic breath. This is a very important breath as you will find it in all the other breathing practices, and also it has the purpose to connect you with your diaphragm and with your belly and to teach your lungs to expand fully and to take air all the way down, not just to the chest. So doing this practice at first will really benefit you in every part of your life, not just in a yoga practice. Any type of practice will be benefited, and also your power of relaxation and concentration and dealing with stress will be enhanced. Pranayama is a powerful practice, and a lot of people say that is even more important than asana practice, and that it should be done before asana practice. So in order to have a proper asana practice, you need to have pranayama experience. Without knowing how to breathe properly, you're not able to take the full benefits from your asana practice. So I recommend doing any kind of pranayama practice for at least 20 minutes a day. You will see what huge benefits this practice will bring in your life. A sense of clarity and upliftment will be felt in your mind, and a sense of relaxation and empowerment will be felt in your body. Also, this will help relax and open up the heart, and you will be able to deal with stress and negative emotions a lot better. I hope you enjoyed this video and you find it useful, and I hope your yoga practice will be taken to its next level by knowing how to breathe properly. I am Alex, and I thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it and find it useful, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. This way my channel will grow and more people will have access to these kind of videos. I wish you all the best. Have an amazing day. Namaste.